Hi, I'm Stacey Ross here on the beautiful St. Anne's Academy grounds in Victoria. This site recently played host to a musical extravaganza, a veritable orgy of talent. Check News reporter Kylie Stanton gives us a look and tells you where some of these great bands are headed. That's next. This looks like a pretty good site for a concert, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly what happened here not too long ago. Our Kylie Stanton attended, and you know what? She tells us about some bands who performed here that are headed to a really cool competition that could shoot them straight to the top of the charts. Here's Kylie.
This song is called Coming Home.
It's where most musicians start out, playing local gigs for local crowds. Victoria has a lot to choose from. The talent graces stages to street corners, paying their dues, working to get to the next level. And now it's time for some recognition.
This year we have 7 artists, and every year we've had quite a few Victoria artists. There's something going on in Victoria, something in the water. It's amazing. This year we got Maurice, Current Swell, Lindsay Bryan, Avarius, Acres of Lions, Rocal Code, and Ashley Amon.
They'll compete in the country's single biggest radio station project.
It's Adele and Rumor Has It on 100.5 The Peak.
Meant to educate, promote, and develop the careers of BC's up-and-coming artists, backed each year by $755,000 in cash prizes.
They had this money to spend on developing Canadian talent, and they really wanted to do something that would benefit the artists from every level.
Out of more than 375 applicants, 20 finalists are vying for the top prize, and Victoria is ready to show its stuff.
We're all just trying to stay really positive about it because we've heard so many good things about it, and we just want to have fun.
I'm just open to try and be as open to this process as best I can.
I kind of think of it like I'm going to music industry school.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for bands in BC. I think every province across Canada should offer similar support to artists.
This is Acres of Lions. We're on the BC Ferries. Coming back from the Peak Performance Project Boot Camp.
This will be the second time round for Acres of Lions, who competed in 2010 but were eligible to re-enter after placing outside of the top 3. While they didn't come away with the money last year, the experience proved to be even more valuable.
We all made friends for life there, and yeah, no, it was such a positive experience. We're happy to be, invited back.
This girl will be staying for the entire week.
The connections are made here at Boot Camp, an intensive training program guided by industry professionals focusing on the ins and outs of the music business, specifically live performance, songwriting, marketing, and promotion. Overall, a rare opportunity for independent artists.
And our band was signed to Warner US, and this kind of opportunity is something we really felt we were missing out on by being signed.
A lot of people can't take their music careers to the next level without that financial support.
I think it's huge. I think the past winners have, really gone a lot further and further and further, and it's actually amazing what it has done for their career.
It's so dark, I can't see the light.
Past participants have gone on to be recognized on the national stage. Said the Whale took home the 2011 Juno Award for New Group of the Year.
Wow.
While Greg Zabel was honored for his latest album, Love and Lack Thereof.
In May of 2010, the top 20 Peak Performance Project artists were announced.
But for Vince Vaccaro, 2010's third-place finisher, the winnings meant hitting the road.
I've had funding to go on 2 tours, one tour in Australia that I just come home from, and then one tour through the mountains of BC and Alberta.
It's what seems to be a common priority.
I want to tour the States and tour Europe. I've never got to do that, so.
Touring in the States and touring around the world.
Touring, maybe get some new gear.
But right now, everyone has their eye on the prize.
Money?
Obviously, $100,000 would be a pretty big reward that could help the band a lot.
It's all about the money. It's all about the,
3 years into the competition, it's clear the payoff can be huge. And this time round, Victoria artists have the numbers on their side.
Thanks, Kylie. You like my disappearing act? That's the best I can do right now, but maybe one of Victoria's best illusionists can give me some tips. Now, who doesn't need a little more magic in their daily lives? Lucky enough for us, world-renowned illusionist Murray Hatfield is here to show us a great trick. This is one of my favorites.
Well, Stacy, actually I wanted to, every magician has a magic box.
Right.
I happen to have one right here, and in fact, let me show you what it looks like. Inside of the box, if you want to take a look in there, we just have a big empty box. Here's the way the magic works. All you have to do, Stacy, is just give it a little magical gesture.
Okay.
Little magical gesture, and take a look inside.
Oh.
It's Cody, the Wonder Dog.
Oh, isn't he wonderful? Now, Murray, you've been in the magic illusion business for a long time. How has it changed over the years?
You know something? It's just an idea or a situation where you just have to sort of keep up. Magic is about staying ahead of the technology, and because of that, Teresa and I have a team of craftsmen and idea people that we work with to continually come up with new ideas, new illusions, new innovations, and make it possible for us to do things that the audience has never seen before.
Has technology made it harder or easier? Is it easier to fool a TV camera, or is it easier to fool somebody live and in person, for instance?
I would say that when you're dealing strictly on camera, it's possible to do things because of the limitations, the situation where you're actually forcing where the person is going to watch. Live, it's, I think, much more difficult because people can look wherever they want. They aren't necessarily going to follow where the camera looks. So you've got to be darn good, and you've got to be ready for it. But,
that's great, Murray. And tell us quickly about your show and where it's going on this summer and how people can get tickets.
Well, we are going to be appearing every weekend from July 8th to August the 19th, mostly on Fridays, but one or two of them are Saturdays. And tickets are available at the McPherson box office. They have a phone line and an online system that you can access. Great. Or people can come in person right down to Murray's Trick and Joke Shop, and we have tickets here.
And Cody will be there too?
Cody will be there too.
Great. Thanks, Murray. Now, I don't have any cards, but how about this? No? Oh well. Much more still to come on Island 30, including this.
Hey, I'm Chef Michael. Coming up on Island 30, Salt Spring Island lamb.
Welcome back. Now, it may be a bit of a struggle, but you got to follow my chain of thought here. I'm sitting here enjoying the summertime, the sunshine, so I'm thinking about traveling. I'm thinking about some of my favorite places to travel, maybe the Gulf Islands, maybe Salt Spring Island. And when I think Salt Spring Island, I think about lamb. Yes, I'm a meatitarian. It's a lifestyle choice. Here's Chef Michael now with his great lamb recipe.
All right, so let's make some Salt Spring Island lamb. What we're gonna do is get some Dijon mustard going in this bowl, a little bit of salt, some pepper, some turmeric, and we'll go to the olive oil now. About just over a tablespoon there, and same with the honey, about a tablespoon of that. And we've got a healthy portion of fresh thyme here. I would say we'll have a couple tablespoons once it's all chopped up. Okay, that's ready to go in. And some fresh garlic. Give that a crunch. Chop off the ends. And I don't know about you, everybody's different, but I like my garlic chunky. I like nice big chunks of garlic, so I don't chop it up too fine. Nothing like biting into a nice piece of garlic. So we'll leave it. It's about like that. Okay, and that's ready to go in. And now our lamb is ready to go in too. So we're, we're gonna keep on spinning this around till everything looks like it's nice and evenly distributed and nice and evenly coated. And that's looking pretty good. All right, so I got my broiler on high. Okay, we don't have to worry about these sticking because there's some olive oil in that mixture already. So anywhere from 7 to 8 minutes per side, and you're going to end up with anywhere from medium rare to medium well-ish lamb chops. These have been in there for just about 7 minutes, and you can see they've got some nice brownage going on. halfway there, and they smell fantastic. We'll just give them a flip and then throw them back underneath the broiler. Okay, so that's been about another 7 minutes or so, so these are good to go. And they are, of course, smoking hot, but they look beautiful, don't they? And, you know, depending on the thickness, if they're thinner, then you're only going to need 4 or 5 minutes aside. That is awesome. CountryGrocer.com, you can find this recipe. Salt Spring Island lamb, Country Grocer. Go talk to the meat man.
From a meal on Salt Spring Island, thanks Chef Michael, to the tropics for a drink. Here's Solomon Siegel with Mai Tais.
The Mai Tai cocktail might be my favorite tiki cocktail out there. It's not got too many things in it, and it can be so well balanced and delicious and fruity and summery when made right. Now, the recipe I'm going by is the best I can kind of guess at from reading lots of books like from Beach Bum Berry and all these tiki historians to what Trader Vic was doing, because a lot of this stuff was shrouded in mystery. But we're certainly going to start of a base of some Jamaican rum. So this is a partially pot stilled rum from Appleton's here. And we're going to put an ounce of this in. Now, it does call, as far as I know, for some rum agricole, which unfortunately can be a little pricey on our market because it's made with the whole sugarcane. So, stepping in for the agricole, I'm going to use a little bit of cachaça, also made from sugarcane juice. So we're going to mix these two sugarcane-based spirits together. And then we're also going to add in a little bit of orgeat syrup. This one's from Giffard, but there's other ones on the market. It's an almond syrup. It's got almond with a little bit of rose water, and it's kind of got this cloudy look to it. So a ½ ounce of that. And then when it comes to citrus, please, please, please remember fresh citrus is where all that zing and fun is in a drink. If you use bottled lime juice, it's not going to have enough bright acidity and freshness to counteract the sweetness that we're getting from the orgeat and from the rums for that matter. So we want a full ½ ounce of that. It's all in our shaker. While these ingredients are getting to know each other, we're going to crush up some ice. So you can use a napkin as well, but I've got a Lewis bag. So it's just a canvas bag that I'm going to fill with a bit of ice. This is my favorite way of crushing ice. Now I could get a rolling pin or something like that to crush up the ice, but I've got my hammer, so I like using this. There we go, perfectly crushed ice. And one of the things I like about using a Lewis bag or even just a cloth napkin over using anything else is that the ice is really nice and dry. So some fresh crushed ice. Quick shake of the cocktail. Just strain directly into the crushed ice here. And then for garnish, just a nice sprig of mint. Mai Tai fit for a king.
Thanks very much, Solomon. That looks great. Now, this is a pretty impressive piece of real estate, and if you're in the process of buying or selling a house, you should remember there may be some hidden costs. Now, of course, this time of year is when a lot of people decide to change homes, buy a new home, sell their home. Now, if you are buying a home, again, it's not a cheap thing to do, and there may be some hidden costs that you're not really expecting. Colin Nickel from Island Savings, tell us about some of those surprise bills that we might get at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when you're looking at buying a house, it may be $500,000–600,000 is what you see when you look at MLS, and you're thinking, well, we can afford that, and you've done your debt calculations, but there's a thing at the back there which is your hidden costs. Or your closing costs. And certainly you've got to really consider what those are. So certainly the property transfer tax in BC, so for up to the first $200,000 the value of your house is charged at 1% and then it's 2% thereafter. So it can actually add up over the course of time. So if you're buying a $1 million property, for example, that could cost you about $20,000–$30,000, which again, you've got to find that money as well. There's even smaller things with regard to taking over utilities. If it's the first time you've actually bought a house and you're moving into the property market, your BC utilities may basically say, you know, they want a down payment or a deposit. There may be legal fees, there may be other closing costs. You may, when you move into the house, have to look at things like renovations. You may want to buy a new kitchen or new appliances. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. So when you are looking at buying a house, be aware of some of the fees that are in there. I mean, you're aware of your realtor fees. They basically are deducted, or you've got to pay those at at the end. So you have to really be paying attention to all of these fees. The realtor fees are only when you sell your property, obviously, but certainly that's taking away from the money that you can invest into a new property. So you've got to be aware of, you know, how much you're going to have at the end here.
And again, important not to use every cent you have just to meet that purchase price, as you're saying. You've got to make sure that there's a little bit there to cover all those costs that you
exactly.
may not expect.
And your house is your biggest purchase that you're going to make. So, you know, just be aware of all the costs that are there. So certainly speak to your realtor, and there's some great resources online as well. So if you just go into Google and type in closing costs, I'll give you a list of the things you should be considering, and there's some calculators there as well for your benefit.
Great, great, good to know. Thanks very much, Colin.
You're welcome.
Coming up after a break, Paul Placido talks gas, and Gordy Tupper with this.
Hey Stacy, this is a mojito, but it's not your average mojito. It's very Saanich Peninsula oriented. We'll tell you more when Island 30 continues.
That's not right. What the heck? Now I got some questions about this here sundial. In fact, I've got lots of questions. Time to head down to the Zone FM for some answers.
Our next Ask Paul question comes from Shane Kelm. He asks, why is it when you breathe in the cold air, you can see your breath, but when you fart, you don't see anything? Paul.
Yeah, that's a great question. And on the Zone phone right now, I've got an old friend of the Ask Paul show, Dr. Scientoni. He's a scientist who he insists he can help us out with this question. Dr. Scientoni, are you there?
I sure am, Paul. Lately, I have been stationed at the National Fartology Research Center of Farts, where we work tirelessly day in and day out with the Fartmotron, studying the science of farts.
All right, that all sounds made up. Can you please help us with the fart question, please?
Through thousands of man-hours of research and millions of dollars of tax-funded government grants, we have discovered that flatulence gas is comprised principally of methane and hydrogen sulfide and other gases, and these gases have freezing points well below the outside temperature experience in cold weather.
That makes sense. And of course, when you're breathing out carbon dioxide, which freezes much easier, along with a lot of the water vapor that when you breathe out, that just freezes, and that's what makes the mist when you breathe out in cold weather. And that's why you can see that. Is that about right, Dr. Scientoni? Is that, am I getting?
Someone didn't put on the fart dampener. The Fartmotron is showing crazy.
All that government money and no fart dampener.
Paul, send help. Call the SWAT team, Special Forces Fart Squad.
That doesn't exist. Okay, that's all right. Well, I'll hang up on him. Thanks a lot for your question. Really appreciate it.
All right, Shane, I hope that helps you out. If you have a question you want Paul or any scientist to answer, just email paul@thezone.fm.
Thanks, guys. Now, I'm not the only one enjoying the sunshine tonight. Gordy Tupper headed out to Brentwood Bay to take a popular summer fruit and turn it into a really amazing Cuban libation. Here's Gordy.
Hey Stacy, finally the calendar says it's summer, and more importantly the weather says it's summer, and even more important on top of that, the strawberries are finally out, and we're out on Oldfield Road. We're going to head into Oldfield Orchard and check out this year's crop. There you go. Strawberries were rolling in the back door of the farm market and out the front door just as quickly. For most islanders, these little red treats are gold, and for the farmers too. Are they as good this year?
They're as good. They are late. We are about 2 weeks behind.
All winter long, in fact all the rest of the year long, we've been suffering with California strawberries. Yeah. But now these are so fresh and tasty. Yes. It's like a 180-degree difference.
Yeah, exactly. We started picking 6 days ago. We pick every morning, so everything you see here is freshly picked. These actually came from the stand about half an hour ago, and they're still coming now.
In fact, Raphael is looking for some pickers if you're into some close-up strawberry work.
It's a tough job, but it's something with you spend the full day outside in the sun, eating fruit. It's very healthy for you.
Now wait a minute, are you allowed to eat the strawberries while you're picking them?
Yes, as much as you like.
Doesn't that sound nice? Now, we all know you can make pies out of these, you can make jam or just pop them into your mouth as is, but I was looking for something a little more creative, so I headed over to the Brentwood Bay Marine Pub to see what they could do for us. Okay, now I ate a few of them on the way over, but still there's lots left over. This is Sandy. You're the bartender here at the pub.
Hi. Nice
Left-handed shake. Feels like we're in
well,
Boy Scouts.
I'm on this side.
So what can you do with strawberries, fresh strawberries?
Well, usually we make a raspberry mojito, but since you generously brought us fresh strawberries.
A mojito?
Yes, we will try making it with strawberries, which is going to be equally as nice.
The berries get cut up and then muddled together with the lodge's own fresh-grown mint.
This is the art of muddling right here.
Really?
It is.
I get muddled every day.
Okay, that's fantastic. So then we scoop it all in here, and that'll give it some nice color and flavor. Then we'll add rum, which makes everything better. Ginger liqueur.
Oh, really?
Just a splash. Some lime juice and some soda.
And it's out onto the patio to see how well we did. It's a Brentwood Bay
Brentwood
strawberry
Bay
mojito.
strawberry mojito.
Well, fantastic. Thank you. Wow, that's delicious.
Once again, Gordy, where's the love? No Mai Tai for me. Well, I'm going to pout for a minute and nobody needs to see that. So we're going to wrap things up for our show tonight. I'm Stacey Ross. See you soon. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your story ideas by calling 250-480-3767 or drop us an email at island30@checknews.ca.